Well, good morning, traders. Today is the very last day of April. And before the month of May kicks off, let's see what the markets have in store for us today. Now, I'm going to look at a few trade setups on Forex, gold, and NASDAQ during this video. As always, my name is Francois Duplessis, and this is Trade Talks. Let's get started. So as always, nothing during this video should be taken as financial advice. It's just me sharing what I see in the markets and a couple of trades that I'm monitoring for the day that I'm sharing during this video. That being said, let's with our economic calendar. Now, earlier this morning, this is around 10 o'clock South African Standard Time, we will see the release of the German GDP report. Now, seeing that this is NFP week, this report will have some impact on the market, but don't expect fireworks, in my opinion. If we have a look later today, there is a little bit more significant reports being released as the market will kind of start heating up closer to the US session. More specifically, we will see the release of the ADP non-farm payroll report. So this is your NFP for the private sector. Please just remember that this is the only report that gets released at like this weird time, which is at 2:15. It's not on the dot on a specific hour or at 2:30. It's at 2:15. So don't log in at 2:30 and see that you missed the bus. Okay. So yes, that will be released today as well. At 2:30, we will also see the release of the US GDP report, which will definitely also create quite a bit of volatility within the market. And then later today, again, it just keeps going. At 3:45, we'll see the Chicago PMI report released. And then we will see at 4 o'clock, the USA Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge, which is our PCE price index, will be released at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, this would be the primary fundamental event that I personally will be looking out for today. Now, as I said, I do have a few setups lined up for you that I'm looking at for today, which is on Forex, gold, and NASDAQ. Kicking things off with the cable, also known as GBP USD. Now, this one I actually think I shared yesterday as well, where it is still trading in that rising wedge. Haven't gotten to an entry yet. I'm still waiting for a break below that 1.329 level. Once we get there, and some of the fundamental events might actually drive us down there today, we could aim for some lower points if we start seeing some strength coming to the dollar, aiming for that lower levels at 1.305. Now, moving over to our next one for today is the Aussie. So this is AUD USD. And here we can also see that same rising wedge pattern. Again, waiting just for a break. And I'm going to wait for a break below this 0.636 level or 637 more or less. And if we break that, again, looking for some strength within the dollar, aiming for those lower points around 0.622. Moving over to USD CHF, this one is currently trading in a descending triangle pattern. Now I'm waiting for a close just above these previous, you can see there's a bit of a resistance here. So I'm just waiting for a break above the 0.825 level. If we can get there, we can definitely aim for some higher points on this one. Maybe even seeing some new higher highs being created on this specific pair around that 0.8358 level. And the risk to reward as well on this one is quite nice, especially because at the tip of that triangle, there's been a lot of consolidation. So now just waiting for that break before we start looking at a setup on this one. Moving over to GBP CAD, this one is trading in a bit of a falling wedge pattern. I'm going to zoom in for you here a little bit. So here you can see that falling wedge pattern. It is currently at the bottom. So again, waiting for the pattern to complete, waiting for it to push up higher. waiting for an entry around 1.856 and then aiming for those higher levels at 1.863 roughly. Moving over to our last Forex pair for today, which is CAD JPY. This one I need to zoom out a little bit again. So CAD JPY is currently completing that head and shoulders pattern. Now there is a possibility that it will push up all the way to this 103.4 level and then start selling down. But for me, I'm going to patiently wait for that break of the actual pattern, which will happen around that 102.5 level. And once we get to that specific level, can then aim for those lower levels around maybe even all the way down to 101 flat. And as promised, heading over to gold now. Now gold, this one I'm trading on a little bit of a smaller time frame, just because of the fact that we've seen so much movement within gold lately. So just opening this, I don't know why I didn't want to load that. Okay, it's fine. We'll leave it on an hour time frame. I actually did the analysis on this one on a 30-minute time frame, but for some reason the pattern that I drew doesn't want to show. So I'll basically just have to zoom in a little bit for you guys here. So gold currently forming this double bottom that we have here. And what I'm waiting for is a break above that 3,331 level. And then I'm going to look for a buying position all the way up to 3,360. Finishing things off today with our tech index. So this is NASDAQ. Now NASDAQ, you can see, if I zoom out a little bit again for you on this one, there's been a lot of consolidation around that resistance level that I showed on Monday. Now I'm just going to look for a little bit of a short-term trade just to capitalize on a little bit of movement within the market here today. So right where we are in that zone where that resistance area is, currently forming that rising wedge pattern, waiting for a break below 19,300, let's say 40, and then I'm going to aim for some lower levels all the way down to maybe even all the way down to around 19,000 flat. That should be a good take profit on this one, ending my Wednesday on a high note. Then traders, that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching the video. As I said in the beginning, not financial advice, just me sharing a couple of trades that I'm looking at today. Hope you have a fantastic day. As always, do your own analysis, trade safe, and apply proper risk management. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers.